What if I told you that Fraser Valley now has more active detached court ordered sales than all of Greater Vancouver? Let that sink in for a second. Here are the numbers right now. In the Fraser Valley, we have 120 active detached court ordered listings, 49 in the attached segmentation. In Greater Vancouver, we have 81 active detached court ordered sales, whereas 74 in the active attached. Attached includes townhouses and condos. That's a combined total of 324 active court ordered listings across both the boards. But here is where it gets even more interesting. In 2025, the Fraser Valley didn't just have more active distressed listings, it also had more detached court ordered sales actually sell than Greater Vancouver. And it may be telling us something important about where financial stress is showing up first and why. Hey everyone, I'm Roshan Victor. On this channel, we talk about what's really happening in the Fraser Valley and the Greater Vancouver real estate market. So if you are looking for information to make better decisions, whether it is buying, selling, or investing, and if you want real insights without the hype, make sure to subscribe. Click the bell icon so that you are updated on every new video that I put out. Now let's get into court ordered sales because these numbers are starting to paint a picture that a lot of people are still missing. Let's start with what's currently on the market. In the Fraser Valley, we have 120 active detached court ordered listings and 49 attached court ordered listings right now. In Greater Vancouver, we have 81 active detached listings that are under the court ordered sale section and 74 in the active attached section. The first thing that jumps out is that the Fraser Valley has significantly more detached court ordered listings than Greater Vancouver. And that's a major signal because detached homes are typically the higher value segment. They carry bigger mortgage balances and higher monthly costs, and far more exposure when someone is over leveraged or dealing with a drop in income. On the attached side, Greater Vancouver leads, and that's not surprising as it has a much larger condo and townhouse market. But detached, that's where Fraser Valley really stands out. And when distress shows up more heavily in the detached segment, that tells me this probably isn't just an affordability story. It may be a leverage issue, it may be an income issue, and in some cases, a business cash flow issue as well. Active listings tell us what's sitting on the market, but sold data tells us something even more important, what actually moving through the system. Here's what 2025 looked like. In the attached court order sales, we had 146 in total. Fraser Valley had 45, Greater Vancouver had 101. In the detached court order sales segment, we had a total of 142 sales. Fraser Valley had 75 and Greater Vancouver had 67. Let that sink in. In all of 2025, approximately around 300 properties were sold that were court ordered sales. In 2026, we are in Q1, completing Q1. This is March of 2026, and we already have 324 active listings in the Fraser Valley and the Greater Vancouver area. And we still have 9 more months to go. That's alarming. That's what I want you to pay attention to because the Fraser Valley didn't just have more active distressed listings. Last year, it also had more detached court order sales actually complete than Greater Vancouver. That matters a lot. It tells us that distress in the Fraser Valley detached market isn't just theoretical, it's translating into real completed sales. And that's often where the market starts revealing pressure before the broader public fully catches on. Now, here's the context that makes all of this even more significant. In February 2026, Fraser Valley recorded 843 sales, up from January, but still 38% below the 10-year seasonal average. And this is not we talking about distress sales, we're talking about the overall market. There were 2,796 new listings, and 8,344 active listings. The market remains firmly in a buyer friendly territory, and the composite benchmark price dipped to 895,100, slightly down from January and down year over year. In the Greater Vancouver, February 2026 sales came in at 1,648. That's down 9.8% from the same time last year and 28.7% below the 10-year seasonal average. So here's the point I want to make. This rise in court ordered sales is not just happening during a hot market, it's happening during a market that is slow, cautious, and price sensitive. And that distinction matters because in a hot market, people in financial trouble have options. They can refinance, wait it out, or sell into strength. In a slower market, those options start disappearing, which we are currently witnessing. And that's when court ordered sale activity becomes much more meaningful and much harder to ignore. Now, a lot of people will hear these numbers and immediately think, oh, that's because of mortgage renewals. And yes, renewals are a part of the conversation, but I don't think that's the full story because many of these distressed properties aren't necessarily owned by people who bought at the peak. A lot of financially stressed owners likely bought years earlier, had equity, and had room. So the better question isn't always did they overpay? Sometimes the real question is what did they do with the equity? During the run up years, many people refinanced and pulled money out. They bought additional properties, invested in projects, took on renovation debts, stretched into bigger monthly obligations, and assuming that the value and income would keep climbing. That strategy looks smart in an upward trending market. In a slower one, like the one we are in right now, it looks very difficult. So, what I think we are seeing now is a result of over leveraging, weak cash flow, slower business income, investment decisions that made sense in a different environment but doesn't work anymore in this particular one. This is about more than interest rates. It's about financial stress finally becoming visible. So why is the Fraser Valley showing more detached distress than Greater Vancouver? Few things stand out. Firstly, the Fraser Valley saw strong growth from move up buyers and families stretching to own detached homes. That's a lot of people carrying larger mortgages compared to their counterparts in the Vancouver board. And we need to understand that that segment was very sensitive to income changes. Detached properties across Surrey, Langley, Abbotsford, Mission, and Chilliwack became targets for leveraged play, refinancing strategies, secondary investments, and redevelopment projects and multi property portfolios. Everybody was under the impression that the upward trend would continue, and they absolutely took advice from people on refinancing and hoping that they could secure a good return on their investment and secure their old age. The Fraser Valley is generally more sensitive to affordability and income disruptions than Greater Vancouver. When rates stay elevated, the cost of living remains higher and the sale activity slows down. Households here often feel it sooner. That doesn't mean the region is in a free fall, but it does mean the Fraser Valley may be showing stress first. And the detached segment is where it's mostly visible right now. I'm often asked a question: are court ordered sales actually automatically a bargain? Yes, some are priced close to the market value, some have repair issues, some come with limited disclosures, some come tenanted, and may involve rigid legal processes with far less flexibility than a typical sale. The opportunity is definitely real. Like example, I'm just working on a client right now on a detached home in Cloverdale. The property was bought a couple of years ago for 2.25 million. They currently have an accepted offer on that particular property for 1.45 million, and it's a court ordered sale. Now, those are opportunities which are available because when the market goes back to its peak, there is $800,000 over there to be made. So, yes, definitely, the opportunity is real. and the buyers need to go in with their eyes open or work with a agent who is well versed in court ordered sales. The buyers who do well in this environment are the ones who are pre-approved, understand property risks, move quickly when a value appears or an opportunity shows up, and work with someone who actually understands both the property and the process, because the wrong distressed purchase can get very expensive very fast. If you're a seller, here's my message to you. The market is becoming less forgiving. When detached court order sales start building up in the Fraser Valley, that creates more competition and they shift buyer psychology. The buyers start comparing everything more aggressively, they negotiate harder, they become more patient, and they expect value. That means sellers are no longer rely on hope and timing. But if you're looking at selling right now, whether it is in the Greater Vancouver area or the Fraser Valley, you need accurate pricing, sharp presentation, strong marketing, and a real strategy from day one. Because in a slower market, especially one where the distressed inventory is growing in a certain segment, overpricing can cost you a lot more than just time. It can cost you money and it can cost you an opportunity of getting out. Here's where I land on all of this. I don't think these numbers mean the whole market is crashing, but I do think there's a warning sign worth taking seriously. So here's the bottom line. Across Fraser Valley and the Greater Vancouver area, we have 324 active court ordered listings right now, which is more than what we actually sold in 2025. In a market where both regions are already running well below normal sales activities, that's not a number I would brush off. If you're wondering what this means in your area, your home, or your next move, then reach out. I'm happy to talk to you specifically to your situation. If this video gave you something to think about, please like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who you think wants real story on today's market. I'm Roshan Victor. I'll see you in the next one.